Hi guys, welcome. Danny here from the Magic Junk Drawer, and I got a question from a Leo born on August 22nd, wanting to know if there is marriage in her future. So we will take a look. So here is the thing that I have such an issue with. It's with timing, because there is no time in the metaphysical world. So it's kind of hard to like pinpoint an exact time. I know that in Vedic astrology, they can give you like a time frame that's good. You know, like they may say to you, March is a good month, or July. But it's very hard to come, like this year. And then it's also, like, what do you consider to be a marriage? Like, does it have to be a legal marriage in the eyes of the state, in the eyes of the church, or could you just be living with somebody and in like a really good relationship? It's kind of hard, when you deal with these things, because people can live together for years and not be legally married, but have a really great relationship. And then there could be people that are married and live together for years and they're both doing other things, so it's kind of hard to predict marriage, because, what is that to you? Some people, I used to work with a woman who was adamant that she couldn't be alone. She wouldn't say so much for herself that she couldn't be alone, but she would just say there are people that can't be alone. And her husband treated her so terribly. Like, he would hang up on her, and like we would be in the office and we would like hear him hang up on her. And I would think to myself, okay, so she's married, but is that what you want? It's like, it goes back to the same thing. Like if somebody wants to cast a spell on someone, if you have to light a candle and cast a spell every time you want to go on a date with somebody, or every time you want somebody to show up and treat you like a person, is that the person that you want to be with? You know what I mean? So it's very difficult to give these kind of direct answers, because I had another friend of mine who was, she was in a relationship with a man for a very long time, many, many years, and they were both married. And their relationship was really great. So they were married to other people, but their relationship with each other, even though they weren't married, was better than both of their marriages. So sometimes it's really hard to differentiate between what's a real marriage and, like the shit that people post on Facebook. And I'm like, now that ain't true. No, we all know that ain't the case. But if it makes you feel better to convince your next door neighbor that that's what's really going on, then all right. But I don't see what the point of that is. Like, you know what's going on. I know what's going on. You care what Bobby from kindergarten thinks? So you know what I mean? It's very hard to say, and then all you people looking for your soulmate, soulmate relationships suck. They're very difficult relationships. They really are. Soulmate relationships will always break. There will always be a break. It will always be very painful. And then they will always come back, because you can't get rid of them. So, if you look at situations, it's very hard to explain these things, because I don't know. I don't know if it's society. I don't know what it is. But when you have the idea of the way things are supposed to be, and then you start talking to people and you start reading cards and you start, looking at charts. Like one time, many, many years ago, I worked with this guy and he asked me to do his chart, and I looked at it and I was like, if I didn't know any better, I would think that I was with him. I looked at his chart and I'm like, oh shit. And sure enough, a few months later, he and I were seeing each other. So sometimes, like, when you start to look at things not as so black and white, and you start to see all the different areas of gray, you're like, well, it's really hard to differentiate with what is, marriage, what is timing, what is a soulmate relationship. Soulmate relationships are never easy. They're just not. They're intense. They're passionate. There's a lot of love, but there's also a lot of anger, and there's usually a lot of one-sidedness, one person doing more than the other. And You know, it's tough. It's not easy. All right, so August 22nd, we want to see if there's a marriage in the near future. Let's see. I don't know if you're in a relationship, but we'll see what the cards show. All right. Well, this is interesting. It's definitely interesting. The first card that you got was the Lovers in reverse, which sort of shows a breakup, or it could be a bad fight, it could be some kind of a disagreement, but it usually indicates a breakup. If there was a breakup recently, that's that. But the very next card was Judgment, which means a new beginning. Or if you wanted to take this relationship further, you have the opportunity to do that. The third card is the Three of Wands, which is usually preparing, working for something, being ready. And then you have the Queen of Wands in reverse. When it's in reverse, I don't usually look at this as so much as a person as it's kind of a situation. So where the Queen of Wands upright would be a very strong woman that knows how to get what she wants. She's headstrong, self-sufficient. Inverted, she's kind of like anxious and upset. You know, like almost the kind of person that wants to stab at you because she's been hurt and she doesn't know how to deal with it. So if you've just been through some kind of a situation where there was a breakup or a fight and things seem like they're not going the way that you want them to, congratulations, you maybe did meet your soulmate. And then the last card here you have is the Eight of Swords, which is feeling bound and stuck. So, like I said, the Lovers reversed is like your soulmate breakup or issue. It doesn't have to be a breakup. It could just be an issue. Judgment is starting over, and with the Three of Wands, you're ready to start over. You want to start over. The Queen of Wands, you're upset about something, or the situation is upsetting and you feel bound and stuck. So as of right now, none of these cards show that there is marriage, but there definitely shows that there can be a beginning or a new beginning to the situation, if that's the case. Now, I don't know what your relationship status is right now, but I'm going to pull 3 more cards just to see if we can get anything else. So if this could be the kind of a situation where maybe you've been with somebody for a while and you were hoping that things were going to go to the next level and you don't feel like they've moved fast enough, so you're kind of feeling anxious and annoyed. If that's the case and you feel like you're bound and stuck here with the Eight of Swords. All right, pull 3 more cards. Okay. Well, here you have the Four of Swords, which means that you need to take, maybe you may need to take a step back from this situation. The Four of Swords is kind of like rest and recuperation. So if you just went through something, just take a breath. You have the Queen of Pentacles upright, which is an earth sign. So if you were involved with an earth sign and you're on the 22nd, so you're really on the cusp there of Virgo, this could be you or it could be your partner. You have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, which means the situation is not moving forward the way you want it to. But like I said, you know, things don't always move as fast as we want them to do, but that doesn't mean it's not going to happen. I mean, with the Judgment card, you definitely have the possibility to take this relationship, restart it, or restart it on another level. So there's definitely the possibility, but there are no marriage cards just yet. So what I would say is that I would not think that within the next 3 to 6 months there would be a marriage, but that doesn't mean that the relationship doesn't go to the next level. We can try this again in 6 months, 3 to 6 months, and see what we get. Because things change. You know, things change like from minute to minute. So stay positive, stay focused, and thank you for your question, and we will see you soon. Bye-bye.